Kids podcast, a space dedicated to discussing sociopolitics, mental health issues, and nerd culture. I am the utterly spent K.
And I'm the celestial Vesta.
That's a
Because this pussy is into this world.
You know, I was gonna make a D&D reference, and then...
No, bussy. Would you prefer mussy?
Bitch. Anyway.
I like to take a big dicks up my mussy. Remind me to show you that video when we go on break, because it's one of the best videos ever.
And then after that, I'm going to need you to collect your things, because...
We're in my studio. You can bounce.
I can bounce off to the next dick. That's a Beyonce reference.
You said it wrong.
I couldn't remember how the line goes exactly.
And then bounce to the next dick boy. Ooh. That's why I'm not Beyonce.
Anyway, so welcome back. Obviously, we had a bit of a hiatus because things were happening in our own personal lives, but we're back and better than ever.
Better than ever.
Badder than ever. Badder and bitchier than ever. Anyway, is there anything you'd like to say right off the top, or shall we dive right in?
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right, let's dive in. No Trey songs. All right, so we're going to start off with our usual Democrips and Rebletikins with what I like to call the Anita Chronicles.
It's like the third name change, but go off, I guess.
That is not the third name change, bitch.
Alright, it's like the fifth. Go off, I
It's
guess.
not the fifth name change, bitch. I ain't Diddy.
Alright, fourth.
Or Prince.
I'm just going to keep going up if you'd like.
You know what?
No, I don't. Enlighten me.
Okay, so first of all, I gave a new name because this is a new section because I'm finally giving up because clearly his mouth, I mean, same difference.
Your moose is all up in the news, huh?
Yeah, since you
Stay
won't
in
shut
your
up.
lane, little girl.
Oh, I need to tell you about that story about stay in your lane at Steak and Shake when we're off the air.
Lit.
Or, you know, I might have to clue these people in.
Uh-oh.
Just a little bit of story from my, before the podcast days. Anyway, starting off with the Anita Chronicles. So Anita Wall, I don't know why, but he likes serving high-performing athletes fast food.
Yeah, didn't he do it again?
Yep.
I'm like, girl.
Yeah, so, like, no. Simply put, like, thanks to depression being a raggedy bitch. You know what? No. Go ahead.
No.
Anyway, thanks to depression being a raggedy bitch and other factors that I'm not going into on a very public podcast, I, despite considering myself some brand of an athlete, have not been avoiding fast food like I should. However, these guys, I didn't even care to look it up, which team for what tournament did what, won what, whatever, that got a trip to the White House. Because I'm still over here stuck on the fact that you don't put weed whacker fuel into a Mustang, sis.
Real shit.
Yeah, that sounds weird.
Why did we do it again?
Especially, like, okay, during the shutdown, I could almost entertain an argument that the employees that would have cooked were furloughed during the shutdown.
Which...
Whether or not that was a fact, at least that could be some kind of argument.
They would count as government employees, I guess, right?
But
They're personal chefs or whatever.
But, like, the shutdown is over, sis. You can have them make some White House specials. But, you know, that's too much like right. Moving on to a brief touch on CPAC. You know, CPAC was an MESS.
Yeah, I'm in the dark on this one, so you go ahead.
Oh, no. So, of course, I was hoping that you would actually have something to say about that, but you don't. That's fine. That's cool. That's great. I'll just do a bunch of scrolling and keep filling up the silence.
Oh, my God. So how are you, everyone? Leave a comment down below on what your favorite leave-in conditioner is.
Ooh, bitch, I love me some As I Am conditioner. Gets my curls pop.
I like Maui. I think that's what it's called, Maui.
My way?
Maui.
Oh, Maui.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, some kid one day while I was teaching the other day. You know what? We'll talk about that during the palate cleanse because that's heartwarming. Anyway, so I read through a good chunk of the transcript from Anita's speech, and for those who are just joining us, by Anita Wall, I mean, you know, President Donnie.
That one.
because he needs a wall so bad that somebody turned it into a drag name, and that's what I've been referring to him as since then.
Mm-hmm.
Anita Wall coming to the stage. Anyway, so one of the pages I follow on Facebook compiled some of his more asinine quotes from his CPAC speech, which, truth be told, like I said, I listened to some of it and read more of it as part of a transcript, and mein Gott in Himmel, my soon-to-be 6-year, oh god, he's gonna be 6, my soon-to-be 6-year-old nephew constructs more coherent sentences with clauses and commas and comma structure. And
I can second that.
oh yeah, you got to meet him a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he even
If y'all ever want to see a gay uncle in action,
yeah, and oh no, if Disney sues us, you're paying for it.
whatever.
We do not own the sound of Pat Carroll cackling. Anyway,
but it's for the world to enjoy. Go on.
Anyway, so just a smattering of the quotes from his CPAC speech. The old tariff laws, we had to dust them off. You could hardly see they were so dusty. What?
Wait, what?
Exactly.
What? What is he talking about?
He was on a stream of incoherent babbling consciousness about tariffs in China.
Oh, China.
What else? Those red hats and white ones, the key is in the color, the key is what it says.
Is he having a stroke?
He might have snorted too much Adderall before
Like,
his
what
speech.
kind of... It sounds like he's having a stroke sometimes.
And I'm just can we talk about the fact that, like, and white ones, the key is in the color. Interesting. Oh, this one, which I had to listen, like, this was one of the few times when I actually, like, played the video along with the transcript to make sure that because I think the transcript was done by a bot.
Uh-huh.
But seeing as how he, speaks at a 3rd grade reading level,
it wouldn't be very hard to get a bot to actually,
follow it.
What? I don't know, that... He speaks, like... Okay, go on. Before I just start talking shit about him.
Oh, I mean, his mouth does plenty of it for him with all the shit that comes out of it. When the wind stops blowing, that's the end of your electric. Let's hurry up. Sis, that's not...
Wait,
That's
is he talking about, like, windmills and turbines?
wind farms, wind turbine.
You know...
That's not how...
You know... When the wind stops blowing, like, the wind is just going to stop blowing one day.
It just blows more in another area, which is why wind farms are so goddamn big.
Right.
What else?
When the wind stops blowing, sounds like someone say, well, when the sun stops shining, there goes your energy. Doesn't make sense,
No,
bro.
while the sun is shining, bitch, a battery is charged.
Right.
But that's too much. Oh. I have one of the great inventions in history. It's called TiVo. It's actually better than television.
Didn't TiVo come out like 15 years ago? TiVo was old. Like, is that what his joke? Is that his attempt at a joke? Because TiVo was like DVR before DVR.
TiVo
happened.
doesn't even exist anymore. DVR is just the thing that everybody has now.
Like, is that the joke he's trying to make? But like, I have something new called TiVo, like something new that's inferior. Is that what he's trying to say?
I.
Because if so, that sounds like crack.
I mean, so, like, and this is also before he like did the awkward hug on the flag.
Oh yeah, I love those pictures. Pictures are hilarious.
I felt uncomfortable. Like that flag all of a sudden had Meghan Trainor's eye makeup. What? All of Meghan Trainor's eye looks always look like whenever she looks in the camera, she's looking at the camera trying to say, "Help me," without actually saying it. Bitch, we can pause this right now and watch any one of her videos, and as she looks into the camera, it looks like she's like, "Help me."
Who's Meghan Trainor?
See, I don't know if I can never tell if you're being shady or serious.
So what's next on the list?
Okay, so you're being shady. Got it. Moving on. So we're actually gonna. So, like, speaking of, him being incoherent. So, and I just had this. Where the hell is it? Basically, the man doesn't use technology unless it's Twitter.
Unsurprising.
Like,
he's like 80, isn't he?
He's definitely 73.
Oh, so he's like 80. He's white. He ages faster.
Well, wait. Let's do it right. He's white and doesn't mind his business.
Let me not disrespect. I'm dating a whole ass white man
who minds his business.
It's very fair. Like, I'm dating a whole white man.
You know who else minds his business and looks really good? Steve Carell.
Oh, he does?
You know who else minds his business and looks really damn good? Paul Rudd.
They look good? I didn't know that.
Paul Rudd is pushing... Bitch, Paul Rudd is pushing 50.
Is that good? I thought they just look kind of... I mean, he certainly looks young. He hasn't aged.
That's
ever.
what I mean. He hasn't aged.
I would say good is very relative.
Bitch.
But yeah, true. But you were saying, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that he doesn't use technology. He probably doesn't fucking know how anymore.
I mean, the man didn't know how to operate a goddamn umbrella. Please tell me you saw that video about a month and a half ago.
Don't remind me.
I must. It is a journalistic duty.
Oh, wow.
So he's getting on the Air Force. Go ahead.
No.
He's getting on the Air Force one day in the rain, holding his own umbrella. And as he's walking on the umbrella, he's looking at it, and like there's like this awkward part where like he's being covered by the umbrella, and then he just drops it and walks onto the plane. If that ain't the most entitled...
He's a robot.
That's an insult to robots. And I
didn't say he was a good robot.
That is still an insult to robots.
He's like those robot... he's like those robots from... I lost it. I had a movie in my head, but I can't think of it anymore. The shitty robots.
I don't know. Okay, it's the times that I was looking for.
Oh, if you needed me to fill in time, I have plenty of buttons for that.
Oh, I'm sure. And of course, the internet's being a thought. Long story short, the New York Times was reporting on how he doesn't... Oh, I have it right here. Here we go. Just the beginning of this article. He prefers Sharpies over email. His aides cart around cardboard boxes of work papers, not laptops, for him to sift through on Air Force One. On pressing technology matters, including drones at the border, clean energy, and most recently, the evolution of airplane engineering, he prefers a non-scientific approach. In short, President Anita often operates on the theory that older is better.
Girl, so that TiVo joke, that was his attempt at a joke then.
I have no idea. I try not
to... I can understand why he thought that was a joke.
I didn't get that far into the transcript to be able to tell whether or not it was a joke. So.
If he said, I have a new technology...
He didn't say new.
Wait. Yeah, did he say I have something new? Something?
I have one of the great inventions in history. It's called TiVo.
See, now I'm confused. All right.
Maybe I accidentally added new.
I was going to say, is he making fun of the fact that... Girl, okay. Well, I'm really trying to figure out how that man's brain works. I
think he's trying to figure out how his brain works. According to him, airplanes are becoming far too complex to fly. Pilots are no longer needed, but rather computer scientists from MIT. I see it all the time in many products, always seeking to go one unnecessary step further when often old and simpler is far better. So, 1, no. 2, which is also no. 3, and I can't stress this enough.
No. What is he talking about? Like, I really want to know. And what technologies is he referring to? If he's referring to airplanes...
The technologies getting added on there are safety.
Yeah, like literally keeping you from just crashing into another airplane out of nowhere.
Yeah, basically. But like he of course likes to talk about things because he quote knows tech better than anyone. That's from one of his tweets. I think we actually talked about that last episode.
I remember. Unfortunately.
And I'm not even going to talk about this other than he's piggybacking off of Bitch McConnell and wanting to cut Medicare and Medicaid and more services to the poor and underprivileged and so on and so forth, etc., etc., etc. You know, we're helping the poor and the elderly and the infirm far too much. What?
I think the soundbite is somebody going, ugh. Missy Elliott or something. I'll find a song where Missy goes like, ugh. She does, I think, in one of her songs. I'm gonna just take it. Ugh.
Anyway, so yeah, I just like, and so you know what? We're just gonna move on. We're gonna start off our rapid fire section with an unlisted AOC standing. Don't roll your eyes at me, bitch.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I love her, but God, why don't you just ask her? Ooh, never mind.
Huh?
I was gonna put all your business over there.
Oh, you raggedy bitch. You raggedy bitch.
Go on, stand for your stud queen.
So basically, with the shooting that happened in New Zealand, the terrorist attack that happened in New Zealand.
Terrorist attack.
I have the gonadal fortitude to actually call it what the fuck it was. It was a terrorist attack. You know what? Before I get some edgy white guy in my inbox somewhere, hang on. Let me DRRORISM. Let me go to my good sis Google and make sure.
Oh my God. Let's do it.
The unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims. Oh, so you mean like killing a bunch of Muslims so they leave New Zealand? Interesting. So it is literally terrorism, bitch. Call it what the fuck it is.
They're already like trying to. It's already time for. If anyone would like, we're actually going to link below a template for white terrorist bingo.
Oh, you know what? I'll put it up on the. Page.
Was it a school shooter bingo? There's multiple, aren't there? Is it white terrorist bingo?
It is a white terrorist bingo.
Okay.
And I've got it saved in my drafts for just such an occasion.
Me and my dad actually played it on the phone one time while the news was going on.
Oof.
Like, it sounds funny, but
this is a case of it's not funny, but the problem is that it happens over here so fucking often.
That it's just like, well, time to pull out another card.
There's not really anything else you can do because none of the powers that be want to do anything, and none of the people with the actual power in their fucking hands want to actually reach up and do something out of it. So we just sit and play white terrorist bingo because there's nothing else for us to do.
Sweetheart, we're like 18 minutes in.
What?
It's too early to rant.
I'm not ranting, bitch.
That
was not a rant. We had a whole ass week without an episode, bitch, and I had all this energy built the fuck up. Anyway. Got me accidentally scrolling way past the rest of my gut. Anyway. So, into less heavy thing. Oh, right. What I was saying about AOC.
Yes.
Because we got sidetracked. She basically, in so many words, said, fuck your thoughts and prayers. What? What?
No.
Rude. What? That's basically what she said. What are your thoughts and prayers without any action?
Yeah.
That's also, all of these people that are throwing thoughts and prayers left, right, and center seem to forget the fact that, in that very same holy book that they claim to read, says something along the lines of, faith without works is dead.
Hello?
So, you just talking about your thoughts and prayers, but you haven't done anything because you got too much goddamn NRA money in your pocket?
Because you don't particularly care.
No, because it doesn't affect you. But I guarantee, if your child that you paid $500,000 goddamn dollars to get into a school that they had no fucking place into got shot up because somebody fucked up their test for the 14th time, then you're probably going to care. Maybe.
Right.
But you know what? That's a little thing for later, because the whole rich white people buying their way into schools thing.
We going in on that later.
I've got something written for that later. Anyway, so IKEA is expanding in a unique way. They are launching their Uberhalt collection, which is supposed to be based on and designed by Africans. So if it's lit...
So you keep talking, I'm going to take a look.
Okay, it's O with an umlaut over it. So Overallt.
Just kidding, my phone's dying.
Oh no.
I was gonna try and see if there's anything wrong with it.
Is the battery dead?
No, actually, just kidding, it's alive. Spell it.
O with an umlaut. So hold O and did the one with the two
Spell the
dots on
rest
top.
of it. It's gonna autocorrect it for me.
No, it won't. Well, whatever. Overallt. Anyway, while Vesta's looking that up, like I said, I'm interested, and if I like it, I might buy a wall mask and a rug.
There we go.
But a bitch is broke right now.
Let's look.
While Vesta's looking, we're going to continue with our rapid fire.
Oh.
So Jussie Smollett is facing as many as 60 plus years in prison. I'll be talking about that a little bit. I might, you know what? We've got a little bit of time. So why the fuck is he facing that much goddamn time in prison when we've got all these white motherfuckers left, right, and center calling the police left, right, and center because it's fucking
There were literally
customer
memes
service.
upon memes of this.
We were coming up with nicknames: Permit Patty, Barbecue Becky.
And Jussie
gets all this time, whereas we've got all these people calling the cops left, right, and center. In fact, we had that one girl file a false police report saying that she got either jumped or raped by 3 black guys, and it turns out it was completely fake, and homegirl is still walking around like free as the day she was born.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Ryan Lochte's whole dumbass acting a whole dumbass in Brazil and filing a fake police report and pissing in public. Nothing.
Nope. And it's so irritating. I'm reserving my thoughts on Jussie for a little while.
Like this whole situation makes my neck itch. Like I am tired.
No.
What?
It was the most nasty, disgusting analogy I've ever heard in my life.
Hey, it was better than what I was planning on saying.
No. What's the next one?
Oh, right. So we get to be a little silly. So there was a big tornado in Alabama. Hoping everybody down there is okay. I know one of my online buddies is down there, and they're okay.
Right.
But there's a shit ton of mega churches down there. That one post I saw said something around 36. But a casino is the one who stepped up and did the thing.
A casino.
And is footing the bill for all the funerals of all the people that died during
all of them. That's that's the most irritating shit. I hate it.
Stuff like this is why I left the church.
I hate it.
Stuff like this is exactly why I left the church and will never go back.
Real shit.
Because far too many of you are fucking hypocrites.
Real shit. Like I was so irritated about that.
There are so many people.
It's not the first time it's happened, of course.
Of course
but
not.
It's a recurring issue with
like
mega
Joel
churches.
Osteen's bitch ass had a whole hurricane right in his vicinity.
And he locked the church up.
He locked the church up and had to be harassed by people left, right, center, up, down, BA, select, start on fucking Twitter to get him to open up his churches for people to actually, survive.
Right.
So, like I said, stuff like that is exactly why I will never return to the church.
Nope.
Because you got me full circle fucked up trying to give money to any kind of organization like that refuses to help the people that they're fucking surrounded and supported by. No. We've been getting a lot of mileage out of that button today.
Yeah, this is like the most I've used it.
But I mean, this whole thing is a fucking mess.
True.
A casino. Something that a lot of you hyper-religious fuck-asses like to really harp on being evil and of the devil and bloody blah. But they're the ones that are trying to help console the people that lost somebody in this natural disaster. Meanwhile, you got your purse strings all sewn the fuck up.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, last but not least. Oh, actually, speaking of churches, so Arena Venti's ex. I fucking hate Brandon for that. Actually, no, bitch, I fucking love you for that. Arena Venti's ex was on SNL the other day.
Well, that's where. That's like that was his thing.
No, but like he showed up on the weekend update thing that they do.
Oh, okay.
But he showed up and gave the Catholic Church a good dragging. I forget the exact wording of the joke, but it's like he said something along the lines of, if you still support the Catholic Church, it's just as bad as being a supporter of R. Kelly. One of them just has better music.
Hello?
And some people were booing him, and my immediate thought was that gif of Hannibal just going, "Why are you booing me? I'm right." I mean,
he ain't wrong.
He's not wrong. The
He is not wrong.
Catholic Church has been openly supporting pedophiles and child rapists for decades. At me if you like, bitch. My
massage is waiting for a block button.
I mean, my block button is waiting for a massage because you got me fucked up. This whole child sexual abuse thing has been happening with the Catholic Church longer than either of us have been combined. Or not longer than either of us have been here individually, and probably longer than us combined.
Yeah.
And yet all they do is cart these priests around from place to place so they get some new fucking fodder and quietly pay off the person that got assaulted.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. And Pete Davidson, honestly, like he gets one hand clap, and we move on.
He just gets a nod of approval from me.
One last thing that I accidentally put in the wrong section. So somebody came up with a MAGA-friendly business app. Somebody.
My exact emotions to that, honestly, because they're the first ones that'll make.
The first ones to be like, "Oh my God, does the snowflake need a safe space?
Snowflake this, stuff like that." Also, we need to have safe spaces out of nowhere.
We need an app so we can find places where we can be hateful in peace.
Meanwhile, again,
like, bitch, is it bad that I've got half a mind to download the app and show up gay as a rainbow in springtime?
I would do that shit so gay as rainbow in springtime. I would do that shit.
Like, queen it all. Like, go hang out with some
I'm every woman.
I mean,
it's all in me.
Are you done?
Everything on it, baby.
Stop before we get yelled at. Anyway.
Whoa.
Like, I want to show up in my shirt that says fiance, spelled FEYONCE.
You know what?
With some big sunglasses, a rainbow wig, and making sure I insert every tongue pop, every limp wrist, and everything, just to see if anybody comes up, so I can just be like, "Okay, do you guys serve like a soy latte?" And then somebody tries to come up with a red head and tries to, get a little froggy, and then I drop back, switch back to trade mode. I can. Like, you all have heard the many voices of Kay. You've heard my regular speaking voice, my over all of this shit voice, my raging queen voice. You've heard my BBC announcer voice.
I don't want to be petty.
You've heard my Maya Angelou.
I don't want to be petty. I did not.
Please reveal your inner petty.
I can't. Because it's so disrespectful.
Oh, please.
Go on.
Please.
Go on.
Please tell me what you're looking to say.
You said what? So you said you had what mode?
A trade mode? Oh, bitch.
I told you I didn't want to do it. I told you.
So I'm just gonna go. Anyway.
Oh my God.
But y'all need a safe space, but you want to talk shit about us having safe spaces?
Real shit.
Get the entire...
Goodbye. Bye-bye now.
Get the entire all-American fuck out of here.
Bye-bye. Ooh, that sounded like a fart. All right.
Anyway, we're moving on to our palette clones.
Palette what?
Palette clone. You know what, bitch? Anyway, so we're gonna start off. I don't know if any of you have seen this, but there's been some stuff popping up about a 72-year-old producer named Arthur Du Bois,
who's lit.
My francophonic ass is always thrown off by
Your
people.
What?
Francophonic.
I've never heard that word in my life.
Francophonic.
Sounds like Sweet Transvestite, a lyric from Street Transvestite.
Because I'm a francophone, parce que je parle la langue française.
Nigga, what? I know that was French, but that didn't answer my question at all.
I am a francophone, therefore.
What does that mean?
Franco, French, phone, speaking. At least in this context.
You're a speaking phone?
We're moving on.
I don't get it.
Well, I'll explain it to Vesta during our musical break.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, Monsieur Arthur Du Bois taught himself to make some trap music, and honestly, I'm over here. I was listening to it and over here trying not to. What? Is that not how some of these mumble rappers sound?
Oh, you gotta be more accurate. You gotta sound like you're not in the mood for it. No, I mean, like, it's true. You gotta sound disinterested.
I don't listen enough to know. But yeah, he makes some actually pretty good trap music.
It was pretty good. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. I do too. And you, coming from a producer standpoint, even liked it. So it's got to be something pretty good.
It sounded very like early 2000s-ish though.
And
which is fair.
And the thing is,
that's a mood.
The producer he showed it to was like getting all hype about it, and then the producer called somebody else in there, and the other guy was getting all hype about it, and Arthur himself was getting a little choked up about it, and like had a napkin near his face. I'm like, don't do this to me.
It was so nice, and he was like 6 years taught myself. He used Mixcraft. He said that's what blew my mind. He used Mixcraft in Pro Tools, so that means every part he had to make from scratch, load it into Pro Tools, and like arrange it that way.
Sure.
Anybody who understands what I just said, it's very complicated
Guys,
shit.
gals, and non-binary pals, your buddy Kay here does not speak producer, so I have no idea what's going on.
But like, so with Mixcraft, last I checked, I might be mixing a Mixcraft something else. You can only like make like short loops of things.
Oh.
So he had to make tons of short loops of things, and then layer them and arrange them that way, instead of how you see me make music, where it's like everything's laid out.
I still don't understand. I honestly still don't understand how you do it. Like I am a very intelligent person. Watching you work this program makes me feel like I know nothing.
Oh, whatever. It's not that complicated. I'm just kidding. It's actually very complicated.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, I was impressed.
Looking at the Ableton creators, why you have to go and make things so...
Anyway. Real shit, though. Not playing with you, because people have opened up Ableton, and then if you open up Ableton in front of somebody, like, make something, literally most people would just be like, no. That's how I was when I first opened it.
Anyway, bitch, Richard, I'm trying to get through the... Anyway. Next, there have now been 3 people who have been effectively cured of HIV. And the science communities are hesitant to say cured outright and are saying effectively cured, in that all of these people have ceased taking their antiretroviral medication for, I think the highest one was like 18 months or so, and is still showing 0 viral load.
All right. Who made it? Because I need to make sure they're alive by the end of the week. Because whenever someone comes up with a cure for something that makes people money, they go missing. It's just hate to be all conspiracy theorists, because, by extension, some conspiracy theorists we know are absolute garbage. And,
that was a little personal shade.
But yeah, it seems like a lot of people who come up with cures for things, or like advancements toward things that end some money makers for people, end up going missing after a while. So
we'll see. Next, Madam C.J. Walker's mansion is being converted into a museum for entrepreneurial queens of color.
Hello?
And we know Madam C.J. Walker is one of the OG sickening queens.
Oh.
So she gets a multitude of hand claps that I will not deafen our listeners with.
I'll probably just throw in like an audience sound effect here. I have a lot of like crowd sound effects.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. So let's hear from Madam C.J. Walker.
It'll be there, I promise.
Anyway. And last but not least, and this, I love how this basically flies in the face of racist asshats. Rwanda having a one child, one laptop policy. Rwanda delivering their medical supplies via air drone.
U.S. can't even have an iPad.
Like, what else did they have? Because I had
for like iPad class.
But at the same time, You know what? No. I can't talk about that because I'm going to get upset and I need to save that for near the end.
Yeah.
Because Rwanda's got all this going on and they don't even have as much wealth as we do.
Hello? I like the laptops, though.
Yeah,
Those
the
are very
laptops
my
are actually
aesthetic.
the laptops were actually really cute.
I
From
want,
the
an,
screenshot,
I want an outfit that looks like that.
that same color of like white and green.
Yeah.
Really?
So I could just dance and be like, zoom, zoom, zoom. Hear my heart go boom, boom.
You did not.
My supernova.
You did.
No disrespect to those laptops because, yes, but it very much reminds me of like Xenon outfits in a laptop.
Also, one last thing, which your recent jet setting, I wish we could have done something, or could have mentioned. Oh no, they're not open yet. Inglewood in L.A. Bleh.
Inglewood.
Inglewood's first black-owned brewery is looking to crowdsource investment.
Inglewood.
So, boo, 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 boo. So, you know what? I'll make sure to send you the link so we can put it in the description because, bitch, that will be the only beer I buy.
Real shit. Like I will have that sent to Illinois. Thank you very much. I don't even drink beer and I buy it. Hey yo, I want some
But
beer.
let me actually read the article. There's been a recent rash of sightings with the hashtags Black People Love Beer and Brown People Love Beer emblazoned on t-shirts throughout LA. That's because there's a movement to bring a black-owned brick-and-mortar brewery to Inglewood called Crowns and Hops. The owners launched an Indiegogo campaign on last Wednesday. This article, by the way, was written March 12th. To raise $75,000 by April 5th. If all goes well, the brewery will start pouring in downtown Inglewood by 2020. So they've got a good vision for the future.
Go off, Inglewood. Y'all can have more than the forum to your name now.
So yeah, I'm here for it, and like I said, we'll try to remember to put in the link to their Indiegogo campaign on our description because I am always here for supporting black businesses.
Right.
What else do we have? Because I know I'm going a bit off book, but there was just so much because we missed some time. Oh, my vocal mimic has been cleared, at least for now.
What?
Neil deGrasse Tyson, which a lot of people, or at least a handful of people, say that I, speak like.
I can hear it.
He had some investigation going on about him possibly being a bit pervy, and they got nothing. So his show is starting back on. So good, great, awesome.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, one last thing for the palate cleanse, which this is kind of political, but at the same time, yes. So a judge decided to just, tell Kentucky.
No.
Because that said judge smacked down that bullshit heartbeat abortion law.
Right. Good. Because that was dumb.
Oh, absolutely. So, I believe that's actually it.
Oh, yeah.
Rapid fire, our palate clones, our Democrips and Republicans, the Anita Chronicles. I think we got everything sewn up. So, we are going. Oh God, we are going to move on to our musical break, which is a song called.
Oh, you can't read that?
No, bitch, it's in kanji.
I mean, it's not very difficult. You just got to read them one at a time.
Sound
it out.
I'm sorry. No, it's not in kanji. It's in kana.
Yeah, it says gore, parentheses, blood flows. Y'all heard it before. It's resurging from like one of the first episodes, I think.
Oh, that song.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think I titled it gore in like the original one, but that's how it's actually titled on the release it's on.
Yeah, because anyway.
What were we about to say?
Nothing.
Were you gonna shade me? What were you gonna say?
Anyway, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, enjoy the music, and we will be back. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Yeah. I'm surprised we don't have that as a sound effect.
It's too boring. Because too many people do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we are back with our mental health segment. And as always comes the disclaimer. We are a couple of loudmouths with recording equipment, recording software, a little bit of time on our hands, and a lot to say. We are not mental health professionals in any way, shape, or form. We've just dealt with them here and there. So please, please, please take what we say with a shaker of salt.
Thank you. Thank God.
Why are you thanking me?
It wasn't something obnoxious. All right, lit.
Oh no, we had a break. I'm starting small and working my way back up again.
Fucking God. Okay, so anyway.
So today we're going to kind of talk about being the strong friend. And I'm trying to find the article that this got sparked from. Here we go. Okay, so as y'all are very well aware, we try our best, unless it bleeds over into politics, we don't really talk about pop culture or anything. However, an article published on the 10th of March, 2019. I don't know, people could be listening to the archives.
Sure.
I mean, if you're listening from the future, hey. Anyway, an article published on E! Online says, or the title of it at the very least is, Justin Bieber, of all people, asks fans to pray for him amid reported depression struggle.
Which makes sense, because that's kind of what happens when you're big when you're younger, and not so much when you're older.
Yeah, and the bubble kind of pops.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try my best not to shade the Biebs, because he's made some questionable decisions.
Yeah, he can fuck off. However,
he can fuck off, but his struggle with depression is something
that's real shit.
I will. Just like it's the same reason why I don't fuck with Drake.
Yeah, he can fuck up too.
Aubrey can kiss the fattest part of my ass after all that shit he was talking about Kid Cudi checking himself into a mental health facility to try to get better.
Yeah, I can't really. I ain't down with pedophiles.
I don't see it. Oh, ooh, true.
Leave 11 alone. She has a coin to make that you aren't. Okay. So go on. What were we talking about today?
Okay. Okay. So he posted on his Instagram a 2016 photo of himself wearing a shirt bearing a photo of Tupac and standing while embracing somebody who I don't really fuck with, and Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
Or somebody from the Western direction who I don't fuck with, and Diddy. And his manager.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, just wanted to keep you guys updated a little bit. Hopefully what I'm going through will resonate with you guys. Been struggling a lot. Just feeling super disconnected and weird. I always bounce back, so I'm not worried. Just wanted to reach out and ask for you guys to pray for me. God is faithful and your prayers really work. Thanks. The most human season I've ever been in, facing my stuff head on. Now, obviously, I don't really co-sign the religious part of it.
Yeah, that can go somewhere.
But at the same time, I
get it.
I'll give him, all of the bonus points on the planet for having the strength to actually reach out. and just
Yes.
say something.
I'll give him that.
Because I, like, at least speaking on a personal level, like, I am the quote unquote strong friend who incidentally is also depressed, who incidentally is also occasionally hilarious. Yeah.
I'm pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much me.
Yeah, y'all check on your funny friends. They might be the saddest ones you have.
Hello.
Because they might be the ones trying to make themselves laugh along with you so they don't feel so bad.
Basically.
It's a little personal.
I mean, it's real though, because sometimes that's what you do. And helping other people seems to help. Those friends who are the ones helping other people are the ones who don't have the spoons to help themselves.
Pretty much. That was the case with me today. Earlier today, I was at my swim lesson facility, which continues to remain nameless,
Right.
and was, watching a couple of kids come in and have to take a swim test so that way they could use, some of the facilities and not have to be supervised as close. And this adorable little black boy tries to, take the swim test, falls in, jumps in, or like slips in instead of going in like he wanted to, inhales water, panics, is grabbed by the lifeguard and pulled out, and immediately starts crying. And, 10 minutes later, I'm in the office and they come in like, hey, can we get an ice pack? He says his hand really hurts.
Oh.
So I immediately grab an ice pack, pop it, grab a couple of paper towels, wrap the ice pack in it, and I'm just talking to him calmly, trying to, because he's still kind of doing that. So I'm spending that entire time on one knee at eye level with him because he couldn't have been more than 5.
Oh.
So I'm at an eye level with him, telling him that, it was really brave of him to try, especially with the water that deep. Because the part that they have to jump in for that test is 6 feet deep, and he was maybe 3-4. But I'm down there, and keep in mind, I've been on a bit of a depressive funk for the past few days, but somehow managed to find the strength to put it aside to try to get him to, try to comfort him a little bit, help him get hold the ice pack in the way that he needed to. I mean, I'm glad that he just dinged his hand instead of like really hurt himself. But, that's always, as soon as somebody I know or care about or am immediately driven to care about, because let's be honest, thanks to that stereotype of black people can't swim, it always, 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 always nourishes my soul to see more of us there.
Right. Because, yeah, it's a stereotype I never liked as a child.
Yeah, it's a stereotype that, like, people assume of me, and then a bitch will bust out a whole 100-meter IM and be like, and what?
Someone actually told me that I swim better than most black kids because I have a little white in me. Someone said that to me before. I kicked him in the ball so that they fell in the pool afterwards. But
Good.
I kicked him really hard and I got banned from that pool. But
he deserved.
Whatever.
He deserved.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, some of us don't know how to swim. Okay. Some of y'all
don't know how to swim.
But the thing is that we didn't pour bleach and drain pools and ban.
Hello? Are we going to talk about that?
No, this is not the section for it. Ooh, I'm just on a spitfire kick today.
I should just stop going on vacation as often. Because this is what it leads to.
Me just being ready to fight. Anyway. But, like I said, because I don't know why, but I was just like immediately just driven to want to help him.
Right.
And that's just kind of the case with me with a lot of my friends. Like, I'll be the one that, like, now don't get me wrong, I am not alien to doing my own brand of venting. Hell, Vesta, you know all about me doing my own brand of venting. But at the same time, my venting more often than not ends up being prompted because I'm usually the strong friend.
That's very true, actually.
Like,
I don't mean to read you, but yeah, that's a true thing. It's not meant to be an insult.
No, I'm not taking it as an insult.
Sometimes it's, yeah.
I can get read without it being an insult.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, like I don't know, I just wanted to kind of talk about this just because, anytime a celebrity actually talks about their mental health struggles,
You get the onslaught of people in support of them.
I feel like that's a good thing to me. Anytime a celebrity does that, especially a relatively popular one, they do that. That means that mental health is becoming more and more of something that more people are willing to talk about openly instead of suffering in silence. That way, more people can actually, get the help that they need, get the medication they need, get the therapy they need. Do all of these things and become more put together of a person.
Right. Yeah.
So, Bieber opening up about his stuff with that Instagram post. Kendrick Lamar opening up about his fighting with depression during To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yes.
Earl Sweatshirt talking about his stuff. Kid Cudi checking himself in to that facility to try to avoid, killing himself.
Yeah.
All of these celebrities, talking about it. The more they do that, the more the stigma gets reduced, and I love seeing that. I don't know. This is kind of a weird, two-parter of liking seeing celebrities talk about their mental health struggles, hating knowing that they struggle with it, but at the same time knowing that they're still, human beings that have issues that they struggle with. Do you get what I'm saying? Because, I know I'm kind of rambling and bouncing around here and there.
I get what you're saying, because especially when it comes to musicians and actors and actors,
Mac Miller is another one.
yeah, Mac Miller's a big one. A lot of musicians are put up on such a high pedestal that they feel like they have to be. It's basically strong friend on steroids. Where when you're a strong friend, you got to be strong for all your friends.
But
when you're a musician and when you're an actor
or a
and
celebrity,
a big one, you're basically you're the strong idol for millions of people that you don't even know. And that pressure to stay that person drives people to commit to the end.
Ooh, what was that?
Your Facebook that you left open on my computer.
Oh no! It's because I sent your man something. I'll show you later. But yeah, that's actually a really astute thought.
Because it is. Because that's one of the things that scares me about. My mother always talks to me about this. My main thing is music production. That is my absolute. If I don't ever become a famous whatever, I can produce for the rest of my life and make some coin off of it, whether it's a lot or decent.
Enough to survive or enough to flourish.
Totally fine. However, there is a part of me that's I could be an artist and a producer at the same time. Because that's what Daft Punk is. That's what
Prince did.
Prince is. Well, Prince did. And all that shit.
Sia. Well, no, I don't think she does producing. I know she writes. I don't know if she produces.
Yeah, I mean, Sia counts too. And my mother's like, "Are you sure you want to be an artist? Do you know what they go through on a daily basis?" I can't even fathom it. She said this. I can't fathom it myself. But do you know? Do you understand what you would be going into in that?
I can just take a line from Mac Miller about that. Jet fuel on swimming. Get faded when I wake up because everything is too much.
Yeah.
There's if you actually listen to the words from that album, there's a lot of just subtle hints that he was actually struggling with a lot.
And I already talked about it on a couple songs where all he used to do was drink. Because she reinforced it and she's talked about how he was that person. The person who felt like he couldn't ever
show his weak side.
Yeah, couldn't. And that's what did a lot of aspects of his life in, including himself. And I don't know, when on a smaller scale though, when we talk about being the strong friend, it's, I don't know, I feel like a lot of times strong friends are just the people who help them, who avoid helping themselves by helping other people instead, or to numb whatever they're by dealing with other people's problems, or that is how they help themselves, is by helping other people. I feel like it goes either way.
Yeah, I know I help as much as I can. I try, I know I can be a shitty person sometimes, and I do need to be called out from time to time. Shout out to Brandon for checking me about Tiffany Van Dyke. Her husband could still eat somebody's fist, but that's another story. I don't want him to die, but anyway, I don't know, but outside of that, like I try to be there for my friends both online, you know who you are, and in person.
Right.
You know, I try to do what I can. Like someone says that they're having a really bad day and they could use some company, and if I have the means to, I'm already on my way.
Right.
But at the same time, I still have a lot of trouble openly saying that I'm kind of struggling versus, you know, when I'm in like really struggling, like calling out of work because I'm too depressed and don't trust myself around power tools. Because there's been a couple of those days, and my check suffered for it.
Yeah.
But I also, you know, pulled up some lyrics by J. Cole, who, I mean, still gets a gallon of side eye from me, but, you know, Stop Clock is right a couple times a day.
I never got into him.
I did, and then I had made the mistake of listening to Born Sinner.
Never. No.
You know what? I'll show you when we're not recording because it is an mess mess. I wonder if he's a Virgo. Anyway,
Leave the Virgos alone. They're just trying to clean up.
it's Virgo season. Hide your mess.
It's actually Pisces season right now. Hello.
Not for much longer.
I know it's gonna be Aries season.
Hey.
Yo, fucking
A
garbage.
bitch's birthday is next week.
Yo,
Hey.
garbage ass people. Oh my god. Anyway.
But no, I was pulling up the lyrics for Folding Clothes. Because it kind of looks into the whole faking being strong thing at the very end. Saying niggas from the hood is the best actors. We the ones gotta wear our face backwards. Put your frown on before they think you soft. Never smile long or take your defense off.
That's true. It's accurate. I don't even know what else to add on to that one because that speaks for itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can end it there then. If you all have anything you want to say for our mental health section, if you want to, you know, drop us a line or anything, if there's something you want to hear us talk about, feel free to shoot us an email at askthebkcast@gmail.com. But we'll be moving on to our next musical break section. Which, would you like to...
Yeah, it's called Clue. I have it written in the outline as Young and Stupid Vesta. I forgot to put that down.
Which is why I was going to let you do it, because I was confused.
Because, listen, this is like 7 years old, this song you're going to hear. And it actually holds up really well. But I didn't know what I was doing, y'all. But y'all get to enjoy it.
Alright, so y'all enjoy, and we shall be back with the nerdery.
In this dancery. So we are going to move on to our nerd section, which, bitch, I am super excited for. As am I.
So do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You go ahead.
So, first of all, Critical Role. For those who don't know, I am a colossal fan of the show and the entire cast.
Understatement. Go on.
You know what, bitch? Anyway, so a couple weeks ago, the Critical Role Squad launched a Kickstarter because they wanted to produce a like hour-long TV special for like a for just for part of their campaign before the Twitch stream happened. So they were just like, yeah, we're trying to find $750,000 to do this, and it's because animation is expensive, and we want to give you guys the best.
Hand animation in 2019, yeah. Well, not even in 2019. That's why it fizzed out so hard. Because when CG came at like the fraction of the cost, which is still a lot of fucking money, hand animation was like, goodbye.
But they're like, yeah, we're looking for $750,000 so we can actually do this. If you guys wouldn't mind helping us out. And then the entire critter squad, the entire critter community was like, bet. And
where are they at right now?
Last I checked, as of the time of recording, they're sitting at just under $7.5 million.
$7 million.
Like they're sitting at, I believe it was 7.49 something million.
I could buy 3 plates at Panda Express for that kind of money. What? As if they're just not expensive. Go on.
But I'm fucking excited. I'm so excited. Though I do wonder how they're going to handle that prequel. With there was a specific character that they had for the very beginning of the stream that ended up leaving for a bunch of personal reasons, and he was part of that original story, I'm sure. So I'm wondering how that's going to play out. I'm hoping they don't just write him out,
right?
Because he was still a vital part of the campaign 1 characters. And while I won't spoil it, actually, you know what? I'm going to stop, because if I keep going, I'm definitely going to spoil it. Suffice to say, something sad happens, and I was almost in full-fledged tears at work over fictional characters on a D&D stream. Like, I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. Because god damn it, Matthew Mercer, why did you pick that specific music for that specific moment and just evoke all of my feels?
Right.
And then, of course, the cast themselves are actually crying on the stream, which doesn't help, because I am good at not crying as long as nobody else does it.
I'm not. That makes one of us right here.
Bitch, you burst into tears at WakandaCon, please.
Fuck off. There was a whole ass marriage proposal. I'm starting to cry right now.
Oh my god, they were so cute too, because she was a smooth head taller than him.
God, it was so romantic. So cute.
I saw it coming though. Like as soon as he says something about I didn't even think about it all. When you find a good partner, you don't let them go.
I was like,
and so he turns. And I'm like, up. And goes down on one knee and I'm like, called it.
Y'all think I'm actually crying right now. Y'all can fuck off. I'm crying.
Vesta's over here in tears, and I'm like, I saw it coming. And somebody's great Annie was doing the absolute most during that whole thing too.
I live for that. That's gonna be me at like 80 years old. Are we both crying right now?
I am not. I'm good. I'm bueno. I'm Gucci. Bitch.
Okay, go on.
Anyway,
hijack your shit.
Anyway, so the other kind of nerdy thing that I've been getting into as of late is a game called Hollow Knight, which, oh my god.
This sounds really familiar.
So Hollow Knight is a Metroidvania game based... Let me back up, because I know some of y'all don't know that term. Metroidvania is a term... It's a portmanteau. There's another one for
Metroid and Castlevania?
Exactly. In which Metroid and Castlevania, both of those games have a running reputation of just kind of dropping you in the game and going, here you go.
Yeah.
Have fun. Not giving you much. You have to find the lore. You have to figure out where to go. You have to develop your abilities and get new abilities and beat bosses and unlock new areas and backtrack and go forward to move further into a new area until you get blocked by an ability that you don't have, and then go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I am barely a quarter of the way through the game. I'm living. The protagonist, which I guess is just called the Knight, they are I wish I had the time to put together a cosplay for the night for C2E2. Because while the cloak and stuff would be pretty simple, the helmet is what would take me way too long. And frankly, y'all, if you're listening to this on the day that it drops, I am currently getting my life. Between all the thick nerds and all the nerdy stuff to be had at C2E2. Like, y'all might see some photos of me on our Instagram eventually, of me getting my entire life at C2E2. I may or may not also have an interesting cosplay planned.
Do I know about this? I don't. It's going to be a surprise.
Do you want me to tell you?
No.
Okay. Anyway, that was a hint.
Oh, yeah. I do know about that. Okay.
Okay, that was a hint. Y'all may or may not see it if I actually get it together. Anyway, so the game is really good. It's challenging, but not Dark Souls challenging. Because Dark Souls and Bloodborne, actually Bloodborne is the main one that I've played, but I haven't gotten past the first section of Bloodborne.
Okay.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because you can get stun locked in Bloodborne and thoroughly fuck that.
Right.
To the moon and back. Do you know what stun lock means?
No.
So, in most video games, when you get hit, you get the and for like those 2 seconds, you're invincible. It gives you a split second to get the hell out of there. Bloodborne doesn't do that.
Right.
So like I'll get rushed by a group of people and it'll get hit, dead.
Damn. That sounds like a party.
There is no you get stun locked and it's bullshit, and that's why I can't get past that game, and that's why I'm glad I didn't fucking pay for it. Because that is not a way to enjoy a game. And I'm sure some people are going to tweet me and be like, get good, ho. And I'm like, I want to enjoy the game. Yes, I like a healthy bit of challenge. That's why I like Hollow Knight. It's challenging, but not punishing.
Like Cuphead. Cuphead is a prime example of a game that's like that.
Challenging, but not punishing?
Oh, no, the other way around.
Punishing.
Actually, it's both.
Okay, because here's the thing. Like, here's one of the things that I love about Hollow Knight. It's the fact that there are certain areas of the game that you need an ability to easily get to certain areas, but with some well-placed jumps, dashes, dives, and what we call nail pogo, there's a lot of areas in the game that you can get to without those abilities.
Ooh.
So that's where like the challenge comes in. And the thing is, if you say fall into some spikes, you lose a health point and get bounced back to where you started to jump.
No more instant deaths. Eat your heart out, Mega Man.
Basically. But yeah, but at the same time, like, you have to learn boss patterns, you have to dodge effectively. If you get stunned, you can use that, you get hit and you get stunned, and you have those like 3 seconds before you can take damage again. Right. So use that to get the fuck out.
That was a voice.
But like, you need to be at my place at some point and watch me play this, especially during a boss battle, because you'll see me go from like relaxed and kind of leaned back in my chair and playing to sitting forward, to sitting even further forward, to being agitated, eyes wide, muscles tight, trying to get this one section, and then when I fuck it up again. No, not that intense.
I was gonna say, because WakandaCon was like...
No, because WakandaCon...
I was sweating and I wasn't even playing anything.
Yeah, no, what Vesta's referencing is me and this one other guy whose gamer tag, or username that I forget right now. I don't have it in front of me, unfortunately. But he and I were neck and neck in the DB Fighter Z tournament at WakandaCon, and by the end of it, we were both like... Good fight. Because we were both sitting there, muscles tight, trying to finish the fight. And then to let all that tension go all at once was just... Anyway, but yeah, I stand Hollow Knight. I believe it's actually on sale on PSN right now. So yeah, if you like games like that, feel free to go get it. It's a good one. So, Monsieur Vesta,
Captain Marvel was lit. I'm mad about it because people have been talking shit about it since it first got announced.
No. Shitty white boys with too much time on their hands.
Not even that. People were shit talking Captain Marvel the second she showed up at the spoilers. Infinity War spoilers. She's announced at the end of the end of Infinity War, like post credits and everything.
Oh, the stinger.
What stinger? What?
The post-credit stinger.
Yes. I didn't know that was a word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, sidebar, all you Marvel amateur assholes need to stop leaving the theater as soon as the credits come on after a Marvel movie, bitch.
There was a couple people that laughed at Captain Marvel. I'm like, fools.
Like, it's a Marvel movie, bitch. There's something after the credits every time.
So Captain Marvel was lit. There were some flaws that I was like, oh yeah, okay. I don't know if what I would say delves into spoilers. Really, it's more just about character.
I personally don't care about spoilers because I'm not that into Marvel.
So with Carol, I live for her.
Carol Danvers.
That's Captain Marvel's name. Captain for the assholes that call her Miss Marvel out of spite, because that was what her name was at first in the comics.
Ew.
She was Miss, and then once original OG Captain Marvel died, she was Captain Marvel.
Well, wasn't the original Captain Marvel a badass black woman?
No, she was not. It was a man.
The
one that came after was Captain Marvel, was that black woman. Who we need to talk about her? I'm gonna talk about her in a second.
Okay,
because that's to do with this movie.
Okay, let me just fold my hands and sit here all studious like.
Carol, I liked her. However, it felt like the humor. What?
Sorry, I just remembered something.
Go ahead, let it out.
So Scott Pilgrim. Why did Scott Pilgrim date Captain Marvel, fight Superman, and also fight Captain America?
Oh, yeah, I forgot Captain America was in the movie. All right.
That's why I couldn't take him serious as that role, and then he peeled my wig back at that.
I still can't. So, I hate him. So Carol, I like. She felt her humor was forced, but that was about it. There were some points where I'm like, okay, girl, is now the time? That was kind of my mood. Story was interesting. Goose needs his own movie. Goose is a kitty. He needs his own movie. And you won't understand why until you see the movie.
I'm just
solely off the fact that he's a cat? No, there's a reason why he needs his own movie.
I'm just interested because kitty.
Interesting plot twist that I kind of saw coming.
Ignore me. I'm
now,
just thinking
one of
about
the
other
characters,
movies.
they changed a lot of her origin. One thing that I'm sure all the white boys are mad about, white comic boys are mad about. Marvel, the original Captain Marvel, was a man. Marvel's a woman in this too. It's two women. Fuck off. So also spoilers. And it sets up Endgame very interestingly. I'll tell you why. I thought it was kind of funny at the end of when we were recording. And
so many off the air secrets, you guys.
And
excuse me, y'all.
So one of her friends, black woman, love her to death, has a daughter. I forget her name, but her name is the same as Black Captain Marvel. It's the same name. Forget her name, but
carry on. I'll pull up her name. No.
Same character. But that's all I had to say about Captain Marvel. It was good, better than I thought it would be. It wasn't the greatest, because we all know what the best Marvel movie so far was.
Her name was Monica Rambeau, by the way.
Yes, she was in the movie as a little girl who I loved. That's the other Captain Marvel. So Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is coming out. Yeah, that's a movie that's happening, y'all. But I'm just gonna nut over the cast really quick one more time. I'm so Batman versus the Ninja Turtles. You heard me right, guys, gals, and
I have a lot.
So do I. I still haven't seen the trailer yet.
A hell of a lot of questions.
I kind of want to watch the trailer right now, but it's okay.
Can we just why is he fighting the Turtles?
So Troy Baker is taking over as Batman and the Joker. He was just the Joker at one point. Now he's both of them.
He's voicing both now?
He's voicing both.
Did Kevin Conroy catch a cold?
Nigga, Kevin Conroy would look at the title of that fucking movie and be like, nigga,
Was that the remix?
Fuck off. I just couldn't think of it. I'm sure he couldn't think of any words that they asked him. Tara Strong is Harley, of course. I mean,
because Tara Strong is one of my faves.
She don't need to be Harley, though. I'm sorry. She's just like Timmy Turner on I'm sorry.
Oof.
I can't. Tom Kenny is the Penguin, which I live for. He's back as the Penguin. He was the Penguin before.
In like the 90s animated series?
No, the one after. The Batman.
Oh,
he was the Penguin in that. John DiMaggio is the Freeze.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. For those who don't know, Tom Kenny voices SpongeBob and the Ice King from Adventure Time. John DiMaggio.
Donnie. Ooh.
Hang on. John DiMaggio was Marcus Phoenix in the Gears of War series, as well as Bender. And he voiced the Joker in the Under the Red Hood movie.
Yes, he did.
I'm a bit of a voice actor nerd.
Eric Bauza is Leonardo. Baron Vaughn is Donatello. Donatello is voiced by a black man. Hello. Mikey's voiced by, I feel like he's voiced Michelangelo before. Kyle Mooney. Where's my man at? Ooh, there he is.
Ooh.
Have a picture. Please have a picture.
Ooh.
Fuck. His name is Keith Ferguson.
Why does that name ring like 100 bells? That name is ringing like 1,000 bells.
He's Blue in Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. He's Reaper in Overwatch. He's Marluxia.
Very cute.
That man could nut in every orifice in my body.
Vesta!
I don't give a fuck. I wanted to...
You know what? No.
I wanted to fuck that man since I saw him in Kingdom Hearts. He's Marluxia in Kingdom Hearts.
He's adorable.
He get all of this pussy.
Oh anyway. My God, he is precious. And I want to just give him a hug.
My wig.
Did you put...
No.
I mean, he can pull out my wig if he wants to be that freaky about it.
I'm trying not to use your real name.
And then Darren Criss is voicing Raphael. I don't know who Darren Criss is. Apparently he was on Glee. And Rachel Bloom is Batgirl. Right? Did I say that already? Yes, Rachel Bloom is Batgirl.
Darren Criss.
Yeah, I just know he's on Glee.
Him.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay.
Ooh, he looks way better with a beard.
So that's it on that. Suicide Squad 2. Because y'all took too fucking long, first of all. Why didn't it come out like 3 years ago? Idris Elba is going to be replacing Will Smith as Deadshot. And I want him to just Deadshot his way.
No.
Just sharpshoot.
No.
Into this messy. Anyway, it's apparently going to be a reboot, except Margot Robbie is coming back, quote unquote, and so is Jared Leto.
Has she taken lessons on how to sound like Harley yet, or is she
real shit? Because she done lost her accent and went through 3 other ones in the span of that movie.
Or is she going to keep letting her Australian come through?
She only had one. There was only one line in that movie that she had the accent for, and it was Harley Quinn, pleased to meet you. That's the only time she had the. Because
she came like Harley Quinn, pleased to meet you.
And then it was gone. The next sentence. I'm like, girl. So, okay. That's all I got to say about that.
Like,
except Jared Leto needs to go. Y'all done fucked Joker up with that.
Apparently, Joaquin Phoenix is supposed to be the Joker now.
No, he's got that's a whole different thing he's a part of.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you know what I still want them to do with Suicide Squad? Have a viral marketing campaign for everybody's backstory, so you're not eating up 3/4 of the goddamn movie with exposition.
Real shit. That's what they should have done.
Like, drop that as trailers. Just be like, meet Harley. She started off as blah, 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 blah.
So that way everybody knew what the fuck was going on.
Meet Killer Croc.
That's another one. Oh my God.
Deadshot.
Have you seen the actor for him? Out of makeup?
Yes. And I am every
all right.
And I am every shade of unsurprised.
All right. So
No.
Contain your thirst.
Absolutely the fuck not.
But yeah, like they could, honestly, I would love.
That's what they should have done.
I feel like that's what they could do, because then they have that entire movie.
Put so much exposition, so much.
And the thing
is, every character.
The thing is, I liked the exposition. I wish they would have done that separately from the movie.
Yeah.
So that way they have, you know.
Your idea for the trailers thing was smart. I actually like that.
Yeah.
That's our idea, by the way. Do not steal. We'll sue you.
Yeah. Trademark by the Baldwin Kids podcast, bitch. If you do that and don't cut us a check.
Cut us a check. Thank you. Last thing I need to freak out. Cloak and Dagger is coming back. Season fucking 2. Y'all have no idea how much I live for Cloak and Dagger. I have 2 of the original comic pressings right there on that bookshelf.
I'm just going to let Vesta stand for a minute.
I was so nervous when this show first was announced. I've talked about it before, but I was so nervous when that shit got announced because I'm like, don't fuck up my 2 favorite comic book heroes of all time, just period. Don't fuck them up. And they didn't. They actually modernized them in a really good way, and they didn't make them like these picture-perfect ass, flawless characters like they were for a time in the comics. So season 1 ends, and one of the characters, spoilers by the way if y'all watch it, season 2 was announced. At the very end of season 1, one of the main characters, Bridget O'Reilly, who is Mayhem in the comic books, like secondary, not protagonist. What's the term?
Antagonist?
No, in the middle. What is that? When they're in the middle, anti-hero. There we go. Very prominent anti-hero in the comics. She gets her debut at the end because she gets exposed to the same chemicals as Cloak and Dagger do. So she gets her powers, and the trailer came out where she's got her powers and she's fucking bitches up. Y'all know how hyped I am? That Mayhem is here. Mayhem is like one of my favorite fucking... Well, no she's not. But Cloak and Dagger as a whole, and Mayhem's arc in that was just... I live. She got her 80s hair like she had in the comic book. So she had like this poofed out like Gem and the Holograms hair going on.
Teased out Gem and the Hologram, slap you and walk away in his hair.
Yeah, that. You didn't have to bring that up. Slap you and walk away. Leave his ass alone. I'm hyped.
I can tell.
And I don't remember if he's of age or not.
So then let's not.
Yes, he is. He can get it too. The guy who plays Tyrone / Cloak can just cloak this pussy into darkness. So
okay, so that is 3 times of you being super thirsty.
So we're done. We're done with the nerd section. I really hope he's of age. So
oh, Jesus. Hold, please.
I really hope he is.
So, in other news, how are you? How are you feeling? Did you get enough water? If you're holding it, go pee. Because it's probably bad.
Oh, he's 21. All right.
Ooh, you can even take him to the bars. Anyway.
And drink him with it. Anyway.
Faster! Do I need to go to the fridge and grab you a thing of water? Because goddamn. Anyway, is there anything else that you would like to talk about?
I just have one. I have one more thing to add. Okay.
Y'all don't see the look I'm giving him right now.
Next, thank you, me. Next.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you don't have anything to talk about, I fucking do.
Oh, well, yes, I do, but you can go first.
Ooh. Oh, may I?
Yes.
Okay. So, as I spike the mics.
Well, you didn't do as bad as you normally do, so
oh, no, like, the jacket is coming off because I'm... Okay. As Vesta rolls away slightly.
Just hold on.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
Why are you... Okay.
You're going to get loud as hell.
I will try not to. No promises. Okay, so it has come to the public's attention that the wealthy predators of this country have been effectively buying their dumbass kids into these prestigious-ass schools. Which, it's finally coming to light, even though, you know, we been knew. Well, there's so many cases of, why are you here? Oh, my dad's a legacy and blah, 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 blah.
Legacy of extortion.
Basically. Not extortion.
That's the wrong word, isn't it?
Yes.
Legacy
bribery.
Of bribery, yes.
Like, I feel like that's the literal opposite.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's getting money out of somebody. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, but, yeah, we've got all of this popping out, and that's not even the thing I'm mad about. The thing that I'm mad about is that these people are probably going to get, at worst, like 6 minutes of probation, and then nothing in the fuck else happened to them. Whereas we've got all these parents left, right, and center in poorer areas whose schools are not being funded properly because, oh, look, property taxes actually fund the schools in all of these different areas. And, of course, poorer areas are going to have lower property taxes, which means they're going to have lower quality schools, lower quality education, lower quality educators. And the problem behind that is that we've got people who are, you know, falsifying their addresses by using, you know, let's just use grandma's address address because she lives out in here in this nice area and that might get you to a better school. Let's use your uncle's address because he lives out here, and so on and so forth. Using addresses of actual people that they, know and or are related to get their kids a better education so that they can find some better opportunities and actually try to move up in the world instead of having to deal with the same bullshit that their parents have been for the longest period of time. Instead, we've got all these people who have done this and falsified their goddamn addresses, and these people who have done this are going to jail.
It's like a felony. Like they're trying to make it a felony. It is a felony.
It is a felony to falsify something for your school records. Never mind the fact that all of the reason why is some racist bullshit, because you fuckers have redlined people and gentrified people out into these bullshit areas and then villainized them for trying to make a better life for their kids, even though we've got people coming from any and every country on this goddamn planet coming to this country to try to make better lives for themselves and make better lives for their children. So when you've got actual citizens here that are trying to do the same thing and are doing a half fib to do it. Because, like I said, more often than not, the people that are quote-unquote faking the addresses are just putting down, this relative's address, that relative's address, somebody who they know, so that way they can get mail or they can have the kid actually go to that address and so on and so forth. Like, the parents are doing the rest of the legwork to make sure that that kid gets to a decent school and gets what they need done, and then the parent will pick them up from that falsified address after they get dropped off. Mm-hmm. That's not a huge deal, especially in these high-price ass schools or these high-price, high-functioning, high-tax area ass schools that actually do have decent education. I myself went to one of these relatively prestigious places, but I actually lived in the area. I'm not going to shame anybody who doesn't live in the area but comes out there for a decent education, because truth be told, my high school had AP honors, the whole nine, had a whole ass wing dedicated to the arts, and had all these art projects actually displayed in a way that like passers-by on the street can actually see these. The school is so big and so well funded that the main hallway is a smooth quarter-mile long. Got all of these facilities, all of these laptops, all of these screens, a big ass field house, a separate gym for basketball games, big ass, highly funded ass football stadium and everything. We've got all of these amenities, and people are just sending their kids to these places to try to get a better education, so their kids don't have to deal with the same shit that they did in the first place. So why is this a felony? Why is this a crime? Of course, because you want to try to throw us into jail more than you already do.
Hello.
Oh, and since I'm on a fucking roll, can we talk about the Cleveland fucking police union?
Oh yeah.
So y'all need to die. Just take a long walk off a short pier with some concrete shoes, because you got me smooth the fucked up trying to get this bitch that killed a whole ass preteen rehired as a police officer, even though the reason why he got fired in the first place wasn't even because he killed a whole ass child. He got fired because he faked his he fibbed a little bit on his employment application because he got fired from a previous police station for emotional instability. Let me repeat that in a less incensed voice so you can understand me. The officer that killed Tamir Rice, who was a 12-year-old, has the Cleveland Police Union backing him to get his job back because he lied about being emotionally unstable on his application to become a police officer. So you guys are clamoring to have somebody dangerous to have a gun and carte blanche to kill people of color. You're trying to get him rehired. You're really trying to get him rehired.
Y'all just outright just being like, yeah, fuck that little kid.
Y'all
really are just outright.
He was a kid. And even the person that called 911 about Tamir, fiddling around with his airsoft pistol, said, hey, it's probably a fake, but if you guys want to check this out, blah, 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 blah. He might be an adult, but he's probably a kid, and I'm pretty sure the gun is a fake, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, these cops slide up and pretty much do a literal drive-by on a preteen. And y'all want him back on the force. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, is there anything you would like to talk about?
We talk about this Michael Jackson documentary that came out.
Ooh, I am just going to sip some water and take my mic
I'm
off.
so irritated. Michael Jackson has been disrespected his entire life from his father. I'm not going to bring his mama because his mother seemed like an actual loving person. From his father to everybody the fuck else. This man who was robbed of his childhood because he could sing, beaten numerous times like a fucking
Slave.
like a slave, which he practically was. Couldn't go to school, couldn't hang out with friends, couldn't do anything fun that a child should do because he was busy touring and singing. He barely had time to fucking go to school. And so because of this, people have delved into his psychology, the way his brain works. And, you know, the only time he was able to be free and do what he wanted to do
Was on stage.
was when he had money. Not even then.
He said he was at home on stage. Anyway, let me let you just
I
go.
don't know when he, like, I'm sure he said that at one point, but at one point he was tired of it. That's why he stopped touring. Because of this, the only time he was ever free to do what he wanted was when he had his own money, he got his own whatever the fuck, which is why most of his adult life was spent in a very kid-like
Atmosphere.
Yeah, atmosphere. Because he
made
didn't
his
have
own-
it.
He made his own theme park.
He didn't have it. He couldn't have it. So when you do that to a kid who arguably they lived in Gary, Indiana, mind you, in like what, the 60s? Yeah.
Ooh, Chile.
So there was no mental health, nothing. There was nothing.
Even less so because it was a black family.
Yes, even less so because it was a big ass black family with multiple kids in the house of varying ages. So that coupled with, so he's got that way of thinking plus obvious mental health problems, obvious like wanting to distance himself as far from his father as he could by doing everything he did to his face. Don't lie and say he wanted to be white. If I ever hear somebody say Michael wanted to be white, I will fucking choke the shit out of you. Because the reason he did that was because he didn't want to look like his father. He has said this to many people. The reason he got the surgeries and the reason he changed his nose and his eye shape and his face shape was because he didn't want to grow up looking like his father. Because he didn't want to hate himself. His words. When you have a man that fucked up and who wanted to just be around kids, it wasn't even in a sexual way. But y'all look at a grown man who wants to be around kids and you're like, something's wrong with him. When you don't care about why he's that way, you don't want to look into that. Y'all just look at this man's around kids. A, that's weird. B, I'm going to have my kids around him so I can extort his ass for some money. Which is what every case against him has been. Always. Because every case, they found nothing against him to convict him. Because all that was televised was that Michael Jackson was a fucking pedophile, fucking kids, raping kids, molesting kids. But when they found nothing that proved that, they didn't report shit. They didn't report that he was innocent. So he had to stay with this fucked up cloud of him being a child molester when all he did was care about kids more than their own parents did most of the time. So for this little privileged ass, washed up wannabe dancer white boy and his gay friend, and his dumbass friend to go and be mad because they couldn't make any coin off of some shit that they shouldn't be making coin about and go, I'm going to write a book saying he molested me, even though they testified in court and said he did nothing wrong beforehand. That's a detail that pissed me off. And they went to Oprah Winfrey, I think, right? Like she was the one who funded the documentary or whatever, some shit like that.
I have not followed the documentary.
Oprah Winfrey, who was one of Michael's closest friends, funded that documentary. The amount of disrespect to this dead man who has done nothing wrong, maybe a little inappropriate. Okay, I'll give you that. Like he was a little too close to kids sometimes, a little bit too. But like, I understand that mindset. To go and call that man a child molester and just insult his blackness, because Michael was straight up tell you to your face, I know who the fuck I am. I'm black. Also quoted verbatim. He said that like live on stage at one point. To disrespect that man just for the sake of making some money, not even if it's not even from him, y'all just trying to drag a dead black man into the ground even further, who actually did nothing wrong. In the light of R. Kelly, who actually did some fucked up shit and has done multiple things wrong and continues to do things wrong.
Yeah, and you got some of you dizzy ass bitches bailing out of jail.
R. Kelly, free your weave from dryness.
Free your lace front from eggs.
Ooh, bringing the old shit back. Just That man was like a legend. He's up there. He's like still to this day the king of pop. There's no one that's topped him yet, and no one ever will. And y'all are just upset because he didn't fit the black man narrative. He wasn't. He had. First of all, he had vitiligo. That's another thing people want to skip over. Were you going to correct me and say vitiligo?
Maybe.
Vitiligo. So that's one thing, because y'all can say he did or did not up the ass, but the fact that his son has it too says it enough. Y'all just straight up disrespect this man. Y'all disrespect anybody that don't fit the straight black man narrative. Because people disrespected Prince after he died. People disrespected Prince his whole life for wearing heels and wearing outlandish outfits when he was the straightest motherfucker who could fuck you, your mama, and your grandmother in one sitting by breathing. They would nut all over the floor. So there's just so much wrong with. It irks me because I've loved Michael my whole life. Not a stan, because I stan Prince more than Michael, but still a legendary man who people drag into the ground solely to get coin and to take advantage of someone whose mental health was not in check. The end. I'm done.
It's bullshit. Yeah, no, I've got nothing else to say behind that.
It's just disrespectful, and it bothers me that he's still being dragged. He's dead. He's dead.
That is actually a point that I do want to make. There's a difference. There is a colossal difference between R. Kelly and Michael Jackson in this, which I hesitate to even mention them both in the same breath. But whether or not Michael did what he's accused of, he's been dead for nearly a decade. Canceling him is only going to affect the people that his streaming monies and stuff would go towards. So,
who was also taking advantage of him at this point, but that's a whole nother discussion.
But still, canceling him and not listening to any of his stuff and taking his stuff off the radio is only going to affect his kids.
Right.
It's not going to affect him. The man's been dead. The man's dust at this point.
Yeah.
So, R. Kelly, on the other hand, is still living, breathing, and lusting. So let's get him under the jail somewhere and never let him out.
Please. He needed to go a long time ago. I'm done with that.
Yeah. And I think we're all done here.
Yeah.
So, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, that wraps up yet another episode of The Baldwin Kids. If you've got any questions, comments, concerns, or great ideas, feel free to shoot us an email at askthebkcast@gmail.com. Let me try that again. Or give us a like and a DM on our Facebook page or our Instagram page, which should be getting populated very soon.
Hopefully.
Definitely. Bitch, I'm posting some of my C2E2 pictures there.
That's the start. It's the C2E2 pictures. Okay, good.
You can also get a hold of me on Twitter. I'm at the Iron Magnus. That's THEIRONMAGNUS.
I'm on Instagram. I am. What is my
House _
Thank you. I done forgot my Instagram. Woo.
Is Vesta's Instagram.
House _ fire. If you want to see my face, if you want to hear my music, it's Vesta with 2 underscores.
Don't forget to check out.
I'm also on Spotify, y'all.
Oh yes, bitch. We're not just on Spotify in podcast form. Vesta is.
I just got my Spotify approved for Spotify for Artists, so all my shit's gonna go on there. Well, not all of it, because your boy sampled, so I can't do that yet. But all the stuff that's like legal,
legal and duty free.
Yeah, that's gonna be on Spotify. There's so many other places to find my music: SoundCloud, Bandcamp, YouTube, all that good stuff. You can find me all over the place. Just look for the Afro Queen wearing the Nefertiti mask.
All right. But in that case, I think that's all from us. Don't forget, we are a TSRP Network podcast, and we will see y'all next time. Do better.